welcome to this explainer on the wealth of well-being. Today, we're going to fundamentally change the way you look at your daily habits. Seriously, we are shifting our entire mindset from just, trying to survive the day to actively building an unshakable foundation of vitality. Let's get right into it. So think about this for a second. What if you treated your biological well-being exactly like a compounding financial portfolio? In traditional economics, capital is something you consciously accumulate over time to yield massive future returns, right? Well, what if your biology worked on that exact same principle?
Okay, let's dive straight into our 5-part investment strategy for today. We'll be covering 1. Redefining your health portfolio, 2. Acquiring high-yield physical assets, 3. Safeguarding your mental wealth, 4. Understanding social capital and its hidden taxes, and 5. Examining the compounding positive returns.
Section 1. Redefining your health portfolio. All right, before we make any actual investments, we really need a core philosophy shift. For decades, health has been all about risk avoidance. Just playing defense, relying on heavy medical interventions, and basically just trying not to get sick. But the true path to vitality? It's all about active investment. It is absolutely crucial to focus on consciously accumulating a dynamic stock of well-being. We want to build a robust health surplus way before you ever actually need it. And that brings us to the concept of health capital. As you can see here, it's a cumulative, dynamic stock of physical, mental, and social well-being capable of buffering life's adversities. Think of it like a biological emergency fund. When hardship or stress inevitably hits, and we all know it will, you don't go bankrupt because you already have the invested reserves to handle it.
Now, what's really interesting here is that just like you wouldn't put all your money into a single stock, you shouldn't rely on just one aspect of your health either. A true health capital portfolio is perfectly diversified across 3 equal asset classes. We're talking about your physical assets, your mental wealth, and your social capital.
Moving on to Section 2, high-yield physical assets. So a super common misconception is that investing in your physical capital requires hours of exhausting, punishing gym sessions. But actually, biological longevity and cardiovascular resilience are much better served by what we call movement without the mechanism. It's really about maintaining a continuous, low-intensity active life rather than jumping on those unsustainable fitness trends that, let's be honest, almost always lead to burnout. Take walking, for example. Walking is perhaps the most underrated, highest yield investment available to us. By simply walking to meetings or choosing active leisure, you're reaping massive dividends. Check this out. You lower systemic inflammation, you regulate your primary stress hormone, cortisol, and you even stimulate the growth of new brain cells. And the best part? You do all this without putting your body under severe mechanical stress. It's literally pure biological profit.
Section 3. Safeguarding your mental wealth.
Sleep is not passive downtime. It is the vital maintenance window where the brain clears metabolic waste. I want you to really let that sink in. Sleep is your ultimate reinvestment phase. Depriving your body of it depreciates your health capital faster than almost any other deficit out there. If you're skipping sleep, you aren't just taking a risk, you are quite literally draining your account. But hey, it's not just about sleep. How we spend our waking downtime is also a massive investment opportunity. Look at this comparison. Chronic stress keeps us locked in that sympathetic fight-or-flight state. But unstructured leisure, time spent entirely detached from productivity metrics, that actively shifts your nervous system into a parasympathetic rest and digest mode. This acts as an amazing natural buffer, actively growing your health stock. So the crucial point here is that protecting your mental wealth requires some strict boundary management, specifically a strict cognitive diet. In our hyper-connected world, unmonitored exposure to the 24-hour news cycle and those endless social media curation loops creates a state of perpetual microstress. By consciously filtering out all that sensationalized digital noise, we protect our finite emotional reserves and we drastically reduce our psychological strain.
All right, let's jump to Section 4, social capital and hidden taxes.
We really need to understand the biology of belonging. Human beings are literally biologically wired for community. Social connections, they're not just pleasant lifestyle features, they are foundational pillars of your health stock. Just the mere certainty of having someone to lean on physically alters your physiological response to hardship. It acts as a literal emotional shield that downregulates your body's inflammatory response to acute stressors. How cool is that? But, and this is a big but, we have to be incredibly careful about where we invest our social energy. As you can see here, cultivating deep, authentic relationships and emotional support structures, that's a huge high-return strategy. On the flip side, remaining in toxic environments, whether that's professional, social, or familial, acts as a hidden tax on your health capital. It steadily erodes your physiological reserves through chronic activation of the stress response. So you absolutely must decisively avoid these spaces if you want long-term health stabilization.
Finally, Section 5, the compounding positive returns.
Let's move to and see how this all builds up. When we put everything together, we build massive biological momentum. You walk intentionally to bypass mechanical burnout. You reinvest in sleep to clear that metabolic waste. You curate a cognitive diet to stop microstress in its tracks. And you cultivate deep community to build a real emotional shield. Guys, these aren't just minor luxuries. They are the vital, compounding daily investments that construct a truly resilient life. And check out the ultimate biological dividend of our entire strategy: the power of positive emotions. Joy, contentment, and a sense of purpose are not just the rewards of good health, they are active drivers of it. These positive emotions possess profound biological power. They actively stabilize your immune function, lower your blood pressure, and mitigate the wear and tear of material adversity. It's an incredible return on investment.
24 hours. That is exactly the number of hours you have every single day to accumulate this health capital. You've got 24 hours to shift entirely away from merely trying to avoid risk and to start actively building an undeniable surplus of well-being.
You have 24 hours today, and folks, the market is open. So where will you make your first health investment? Are you going to take that walk? Will you log off and protect your cognitive diet? The choice is entirely yours, and your future biological wealth depends on it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go out there and start investing.